Well, hello. The session thought it would be important for us to orally as well as written tell the latest update on when the building might be open. So I wanted to be able to communicate to you, and hopefully this will be on our YouTube website and Facebook posting of when Eastminster might be open and how we are making that decision. We have been in communication with the church family and friends all along the way, explaining the things that we'll do with the building, also kind of explaining how we're making that decision. But just to let you know, I continue to just make these graphs and look at these graphs, and they kind of will help those who like reading and to see little graphs and the science part of it all and the numbers, you know, where we are today and where we are about opening our building. I think we communicated before that we were at least, from our time of writing to you, 4 weeks away. We had gone through phase 1 and phase 2, which was a lowering of the cases. And we started with July 28th as our starting point. And certainly we were going the right way with 85 average daily cases of 85 on the week of July 28th. Then the next week 70, next week 66, 53. All was fairly promising that we were moving, and we went through the first 2 phases, which is 1 month. Each phase is 2 weeks long of a descending amount of cases. That was really good. But in week 5, we had an uptick, which meant that we just have stayed at phase 2, not moving to phase 3, where the average daily cases for week 5 and week 6 were 62 and 60. If you remember from the writing, an important number just to put in your mind when you're hearing about the reports on the news every day, is that we need an average of under 50 in order to consider opening as a church. The average daily rate under 50. We have not done that. In week 7, this last week, we had an average of 51. We were close. But the church in Eastminster has made a commitment, not just how many cases, but the positivity rate. That means how many confirmed based on how many tests were taken. The CDC has said that it needs to be under 5% to believe that we've begun mitigating, stopping the spread of COVID-19. So when you look at that, that also has not been able to move for us. For a while it was moving. We went from 5.8 to the 4th week, 4.42, which was under what we needed. But then starting in the 5th week, we bumped back up in cases, 62, positivity rate of 5.68%. And then the next week was 7.5%. And the 7th week, 6.29. So what does that mean for you and I and the opening of the church? That means we still are at phase 2, at least 4 weeks away. We would be saying that starting this week if things are going well. We're taping this on a Thursday, and I can already tell you this week has been a very poor week, which was to be expected, I guess. It's after, they usually say 10 to 14 days after a holiday like Labor Day and school starting. We should anticipate that the numbers were going up, and they have gone up this week again. Much higher numbers with a high positivity rate. So we probably won't make it this week either. But even if we said last Sunday, that would mean that we have 4 weeks we have to get under our belt of less than 50 and then less than 30. So in order to worship together. So right now, the announcement is we will not worship any earlier than October 25th. October 25th. Now, you can follow along, folks. If you this week, at the end of the week on Saturday, you hear that the average for the week was above 50 and the positivity rate is above 5%, then you yourself can know, okay, October 25th isn't going to be it. It's going to be the first Sunday of November if we get the numbers to go down. We want to make sure that it is a safe environment for you to come into. We want to make sure that COVID-19 is under control before we're willing to risk. We want to be sensitive, very sensitive, to the people that attend our church, especially the elderly, and also people of color. If you have noticed and have been reading, people of color are in a very high-risk category. They are more likely to get COVID-19, more likely to have serious symptoms from COVID-19. Since over 40% of our congregation on a Sunday is African American, we are deeply concerned and don't want to participate in the spread. Our congregation knows this better than most. We've had at least 20 people come down with COVID-19. 2 people who are related to our congregation have died from COVID-19. This church does not want to participate in that. So we are being cautious. I hope you can understand that and understand that we are trying our best to make sure you still get the experience of a worshiping community. We're going to be doing more and begun to do more outdoor activities. But be assured that we are monitoring, watching, and will keep you posted. We want to remind you that the church is getting ready. We can't wait. Obviously, the staff here can't wait for the opening. We are already having a system of social distancing. We've marked the pews out where one would sit. We've closed off pews for every other pew. We've put the plexiglass barriers out for anybody who will be speaking or singing. We've created offering stations, self-communion containers so that there is no touching, sanitizers outside of every gathering space so you can get your hands clean. And of course, the requirement, we will all wear our masks and gloves, hopefully many of you would like to wear, so that we can be safe and continue to worship God. Thank you for listening to this. I hope this has been helpful. And may God bless each and every one of us as we continue to work through the many, many struggles that are happening in our country, in our society, our neighborhood today. God bless.